Hey everybody,
Hi everyone,
Mr. and Mrs. Traveler here.
it's El Costco.
And thank you guys for joining us today on our brand new series for Thursdays.
It's going to be World Travel News.
All right, everybody. So, every Thursday we're going to bring you the latest and greatest in the news that's happening over the week. And we'll get right back to it right after this. All right, everybody. So, thank you for joining us. As we mentioned,
World Travel News. We're going to be coming to you every Thursday with news that happens around the world. We hope you enjoy this series that's on our channel this year. We're trying something new, so thumbs up if you love it.
right, absolutely, guys. And remember, if we can help you book that dream vacation,
Give us a call, 877-697-4470, or we can be reached at www.mr-traveler.com. We can also keep it kicking and talking and, kicking over there on Facebook, on Mr. Traveler Cruise Lovers, where we continue the conversations over there. All you have to do is answer 3 questions. They're really simple. We want to make sure you're not a robot or spam, and once you answer those questions, boom, you right into our group, and you can just talk with other fellow minded cruisers who do the same thing you do, and we hope you enjoying the Mr. Traveler Cruise Lovers over there.
right, we're just a bunch of like-minded folks who just like to talk about travel and stuff. And
Yeah.
sometimes we have fun, sometimes we vent, and, whatever the case may be.
Yes, we do. So this is a new series that's coming on our channel. Mr. Traveler thought of this, and I said, yeah, I'm on board with it because I want to know what's going on every week in the cruise industry, as well as resorts, as well as around the world, what's going on, because it affects your travel and your time. So we want to make sure we give you the best information that we possibly can.
All right, guys, so it has finally happened. The first cruise line victim of COVID-19 has went under, which is Genting Cruise Line. And and you may not recognize the name, but they're out of Hong Kong, and they actually own the brand Crystal Cruises as well. So you may recognize that
sounds
luxury
familiar.
brand.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yep. So we know we have customers and other people who are booked on the Crystal Cruises who are getting cancellation letters from the company already. Although they did say they're getting refunds, which is
a good thing.
Kind of hard to believe when you got a company that's getting ready to go out of business. So we're hopeful that does happen for the customers, that they do get the money back. But one thing that could be interesting out of this is if you look at the ship, it kind of reminds you of a Norwegian ship, right?
It sure does. It looks vaguely familiar to Norwegian Cruise Line.
So they actually have 2 cruise ships that are the same class as the Breakaway class.
No way. Really?
Right. So word on the street is when they do go out of business, Norwegian may actually purchase these 2 cruise ships and makes 2 new sister ships for the Breakaway class.
Well, you have to watch World Cruise Travel News if you want to stay abreast of what's going on. We're gonna catch you up on this. We're gonna follow up with this later. Yes, that definitely looked like my favorite cruise line, Norwegian.
Is that still your favorite, really?
It's almost my favorite now. I'm still toying with which one is my favorite because I like different lines for different things, but we'll sort that out later.
I guess. All right, so next up on the news reel is, now this is interesting, and I kind of sort of get it. We're talking about Hawaii, so I kind of sort of get it because they're an island state, and it kind of is a lot like the Caribbean islands. They're trying to be very protective and trying to prevent these COVID outbreaks. Although, as we have seen, it's virtually impossible to stop. Like the Omicron variant, as we have seen, is highly contagious and it's just spreading like wildfire. The good news is experts are saying that it will move through quickly.
That's a good thing. That's the only good thing about it.
You know, so hopefully this thing will move through quickly and we can get back to some normalcy. And they're saying also that the COVID is mimicking a lot the early 1900s Spanish flu,
Okay.
which was kind of a 3-year span, and it went from a pandemic to an endemic, and then morphed into kind of the everyday flu that we see now. So they're kind of suspecting, some of the reports that I've been watching have been suspecting that it's going to do something very similar.
Yeah, I noticed that the numbers are going down, and we are so happy that they are going down. But this too shall pass, and we are praying for everybody who's been affected by this terrible, terrible virus.
Yeah, so Hawaii is the state that we're talking about, obviously.
Yes. When you think of Hawaii, you're just going to want to go, it's just so relaxing and beautiful there. Me and Mr. Traveler had a chance to travel there right after I lost my mom. It was so relaxing, and it was just a vibe. You have to get to Hawaii if you can, but I'm not sure about right now.
Yeah, so, and like I said, I get it, but they're not going to stop it from getting there. And I guess that's kind of the thing. It's almost like you almost have to let this thing run its course.
They're trying to do everything they can.
As hard as we...
People travel back and forth, though, so how would you...
As hard as you want to fight it, I mean, I've been listening to people who have gotten it saying, I have no idea where. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, like, they're like, I do all the right things. I'm safe. I'm this, I'm that. So... Anyway, so now starting January the 24th,
okay, that's right around the corner.
Hawaii is going to change the definition of fully vaccinated to include a booster shot.
So everyone on the island has to have a booster shot now?
Well, what it means for people who want to visit Hawaii is that you have to be fully vaccinated to not have to quarantine.
Okay, gotcha.
So now, if you don't want to do the 5-day quarantine, you're going to have the booster. The 2 shots are no longer considered fully vaccinated as of January 24th for Hawaii.
I wonder how this is going to work out for Hawaii. Comment below and let us know what you think, or if you have been to Hawaii, or if you're thinking about going.
Yeah, so really interesting.
And if you are thinking about going, make sure you give us a call. We are going to be your guys there. Give us a call at 877-697-4470, or we can be reached at www.mr-traveler.com.
All right, so next up on the radar, that's a good segue to this story.
Okay. 5G.
All right,
What's
so
up with the 5G?
Now this has been going on for a while, and the cell phone companies, specifically AT&T and Verizon, have been putting off and putting it off because of the concerns raised by the major airlines with the technology that's in 5G, specifically the C-band that's within the 5G. What this could potentially do is affect the low altitude instruments on the airplane.
Really?
Which, from my understanding, reading the story, listening to some other stories, is that, as long as it's a clear day and the pilot can see the runway, they usually typically will, take the controls and land the plane kind of thing. But if it's weather, like if it's really heavily raining or if it's foggy and things like that, where they have to depend on their instrumentation, this could really play a serious problem and potentially put people's lives at risk. And some of the major airlines have said they may just ground flights when this may be an issue here. Cell phone companies are pushing back, saying that this technology has been implemented in other countries and they haven't seen any problems.
Cell phone companies, I'm just going to say, these phones are getting more technical, holding more information. They are almost like a tiny little computer in your hand. They have so much data, and they're running so much with whatever technology is going on until it's starting to affect travel and the planes. I think I wonder what's coming up in the future, because even with the iPhones, they come out with a new iPhone every year. That's going to start affecting travel.
Well, I mean, this is definitely concerning, and I don't know about you guys, but if I see somebody on the doggone plane on their phone when the plane's taking off.
It's nerve-wracking.
Now I'm guilty. I keep mine on probably a little bit longer than but definitely before the plane gets to the taxiway and all that stuff, I turn it off. But I've seen people like, and hope they're on Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it does make
never
me
know.
Make me a little nervous.
The technology is getting so advanced. That's the word I was looking for. Until it's affecting the pilots and their jobs. So comment below and let us know how you feel about it.
Yeah, definitely interesting times.
Some people are nervous on a plane, so they have to be on their phone or they want to distract themselves. A lot of people have a hard time with turbulence, but it's starting to affect the flights. So that's going to be interesting down the line to see what really happens, because these phones are getting way too advanced now. They're like tiny little computers in your pocket or your purse.
All right, let's talk about them. The big news this week is our buddy.
We know him.
Mike Pack. We have sailed with him on the Carnival Horizon.
We have. He's the sweetest guy in the world in person.
And then we also sailed with him. We got a little sneak peek at him on the Mardi Gras when he was coming back on. We were on the sailing before he took over.
Yeah.
But we saw him around the ship, so it was nice to talk to him again.
Can I just tell this little story before we get started?
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember when we were in St. Croix, was it?
Oh, yeah, it was.
We were in St.
No,
Croix,
was it St. Croix? No, it was.
We were on the island.
It was where we can't go now.
Grand Cayman.
Grand Cayman.
We were in Grand Cayman, and the line to get back on the ship was so long from embarkations. Everybody, they've been around the island, enjoying the island all day, and now it's time to go back on the ship. The lines was so long. Oh my God, it was so hot out there. Guess who was walking around checking on everybody and making sure they was okay? This guy.
Yep.
He was just like so down to earth and, comforting us and telling us everything gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right. Trying to make sure he direct foot traffic. He was awesome on that ship.
Yeah, he came out there and we talked to him while he was out there doing that, and what he told us at the time was, almost told them, he forewarned them this was going to happen because they did an early port day at Grand Cayman, and Grand Cayman is a tender port, and he told them if you do an early tender day at 3:00, everybody is going to wait to the last minute to get back on the ship because they want to enjoy the island. I mean, Grand Cayman is beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful.
So that's exactly what happened. And I've never seen a line so long to get back on a tender before.
It was out to the street.
It snaked and snaked and snaked and snaked and snaked all through there. And then it was already crowded because there were a couple other ships also at port. So crowded day. But shout out to him. He was out there checking on folks, making sure everybody was okay. Anyway, so the big news about Mike is that he is now going to be Carnival Cruise Line's new fleet cruise director.
Wow.
So,
congratulations on your promotion, Mike.
So what that means is he is going to be going around to all the cruise lines and working with the cruise directors and training cruise directors and things like that to make a really great guest experience. And for anybody who's sailed with Mike Pack, you know that he really does do a really great guest experience. He doesn't have to really do a whole lot of silly shenanigans and stuff like that. He just genuinely, fun person, right?
Fun person, and he know how to hype the crowd without being corny.
Yeah,
he can dance too.
So, and then returning to the Mardi Gras is going to be the Flying Scotsman, who we traveled with when we were on there.
Yes,
and we enjoyed him as well. Really talented guy. And I feel better for them because it felt kind of crazy. If you didn't know, Mike Pack was named the cruise director for Mardi Gras to begin with. And, of course, we had all the delays because of COVID. Ship finally came out, but Mike was expecting a child with his wife. So he was out, with the family business when the Mardi Gras came out. So they tapped the Flying Scotsman to go ahead and be the cruise director in the interim. And then Mike Pack came and took it back over. So I felt kind of bad for the Flying Scotsman because he had it from day one, and then here comes Mike, and he had to give it up.
He was on the inaugural and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Flying Scotsman's back to the Mardi Gras, and he's also Mike Peck has also said that you might see Kendall and Donkey around the Mardi Gras as well, learning about the new ships. So that may mean that we may see them on board the
cruise director.
we may see them on board the celebration, right?
Oh yeah, they may be getting ready for the celebration.
Yeah.
So the Flying Scotsman will be on the Mardi Gras.
Yeah, he's the Mardi Gras person.
Okay.
And they're bringing, like I said, Kendall and Donkey on board the Mardi Gras to get them used to that kind of ship. And so, who knows? We may see them on the celebration. I fully expect to see that guy.
Me too. If you are watching our channel, you are an avid cruiser, world traveler. We travel everywhere. Comment below and let me know who's your favorite cruise director.
Yeah, and you know, Carnival does it right with the cruise director, right? They're like the only ones that really the cruise directors play a big role. The other cruise lines,
we never
not
really
so much.
We never really see them on the other cruise lines, but you get to know in person.
Yeah,
the Carnival cruise.
They're just
directors.
as popular as the ships, right?
They really are, and they hype a crowd like nobody else.
Yep.
They have to be really good at that. So shout out to Mike. Congratulations on your newborn baby and your promotion. We love you and we appreciate it, and we will see you soon.
All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you so much for watching our World Travel News today.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. I hope you're loving this new series that we're coming out with. We are working so hard to make sure you have all the bells and whistles you need to travel.
Lots of big surprises coming up this year, guys, so
right.
stay tuned.
Life's short.
Have fun, guys.
See the world.
Bye.
Be blessed wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.